A major winter storm is expected to move across parts of the United States, including the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Great Lakes as we go into the weekend. This storm is capable of producing very heavy snowfall. We're going to dive into the specifics, show you preliminary snowfall numbers here with snowfall maps, the track of the storm, the timing of the storm here, as well as the additional winter storms likely as we go into December, including our temperature pattern in the new month of December as well. So a lot to get to here in the forecast. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful week out there so far. My name is Hunter here on this Tuesday evening, November 26, 2025. If you do like informative, straightforward, and accurate, reliable weather coverage across the United States, make sure to subscribe to the channel here. We cover it across the United States, of course, like I just mentioned, Canada, and the tropics. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, hype it. I definitely appreciate that. Also, follow me on Facebook. We have 220 followers on there. Would love to hit 300 followers by the end of this weekend, and you can help me get there by following me on Facebook if you like quick weather updates. So enough of that. Let's get into the weather forecast here. We have a trough moving across the Great Lakes. This is our first winter storm that's brought all the wind here across the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Ohio Valley here. You step outdoors, man, does that wind whipping here out the doors this evening, and that will start to ease back a little bit as the evening progresses here, as the atmosphere generally stabilizes in the low levels, but that trough is going to continue to deepen as it pushes here through the end of the week, straight through Thanksgiving Day, across the eastern Great Lakes and into the Northeast. And then here comes our second winter storm. This is the one getting all the headlines here for the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Ohio Valley for post-Thanksgiving travel. First things first, let's look at the first storm here, bringing, yes, heavy lake effect snow for the upper peninsula of Michigan, right off Lake Superior there. Snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour or more, so very heavy snowfall up there. Northeastern Wisconsin, also a recipient of the heavy snow, and into the state of lower Michigan there, south of that low pressure, wrapping in that cold air here with the strong northwesterly winds. Look at the tight isobars on here, and that is going to cause some snow to, reduce visibility because of the wind whipping it around, but also blowing and drifting that snow. So if you have any travel plans through the rest of this evening into the morning of Thanksgiving tomorrow, make sure to take precautions out there and travel slowly across the Great Lakes, because the wind's going to be strong still, even overnight, even if it eases up, and the snow is still going to be flying. So some reduced visibility. Outside of that, going into Thanksgiving Day, things look pretty good outside of the Great Lakes here in the Pacific Northwest with our second system. Things look pretty good. They look pretty quiet out there. Maybe some rain showers down there toward Miami and Dade County, Florida. Other than that, again, looking fairly good. Looking here at the snowfall with our first system going up through 7 a.m. on Friday, November 28th. This is after Thanksgiving and through Thanksgiving here. We could see another foot of snow, believe it or not, into the UP of Michigan there. This is right off the Lake Superior, and the heavy lake effect snow bands, 1 to 2 inch per hour snow rates, definitely going to be some tough travel up there. And then here comes our second snowmaker across the Pacific Northwest. That'll be spreading in some snow across southern portions of British Columbia and Alberta, Canada, dropping snow into Montana, northern Idaho, into Washington State for the Cascades there as well through Friday morning. But man, those winds are going to be howling here for the next couple of hours. Look at Lake Michigan here over the lake. Winds could be over 60 miles per hour through the rest of this evening, easing back a little bit there for Thursday morning, but still breezy northwesterly winds, still over 30 miles per hour possible as we start the day, and then those winds will ramp back up in the afternoon. Gusts over 40 miles per hour, especially over the lakes, will be possible during the day on Thanksgiving. Now let's look here at our second system, a more noteworthy winter storm that is likely to take our headlines as we go into the weekend, because this is one of the biggest winter storms this early in the season that we have seen in a couple of years, and I do feel it's going to be for some prime cities that typically would expect snow for this time of year, like Des Moines, Milwaukee, Chicago, even as far south here perhaps as the Indianapolis area. We'll be watching out for that this weekend. So here comes the energy with that. Like we said, that's going to be bringing some moisture in across the Pacific Northwest going into Friday morning. And look at all the snow in blue. That snow is going to really start to deepen. And look at the darker blue showing up. That's 1 inch per hour or greater snow rates. So that will really start to be filling in across Iowa, northern Missouri, much of the state of Illinois, southern Wisconsin, getting over to northern Indiana and into southwestern lower Michigan through the day on Saturday. And that snowfall will continue in earnest all all the way through the day on Saturday, getting all the way through Saturday night and Sunday morning before it wraps up there across the Great Lakes. Obviously, the rain side will stay further to the south. We got to watch some heavy rainfall with it, but man, those snowfall totals are going to be looking pretty good if you're a cold and snow lover up here in the Midwest Great Lakes. In the pinks, that's easily 8 inches or more of snowfall. And in fact, the going snowfall map that I've increased across eastern Iowa, far southern Wisconsin, and into far northern Illinois, southwestern lower Michigan, that red, cherry red color, 9 to 12 inches of snow. I think we could see upwards to a foot of snow, mainly along the Highway 20 corridor and north of I-80 in Iowa, Illinois, is where the heaviest of snow band is likely to set up. So Dubuque, Iowa, Rockford, Monroe, Janesville, all the way over there toward Kenosha and Racine, Wisconsin, and then getting toward the Grand Rapids area in Michigan. In the purple, 6 to 9 inches is possible, generally just north and east there of Des Moines toward Waterloo, La Crosse over there toward Milwaukee, and then getting into portions of northwest Indiana, Gary and South Bend, and then stretching toward Kalamazoo, Michigan, just west of Detroit. In the medium blue, that's 3 to 6 inches there, covering a large chunk of the Great Lakes Midwest, and then 1 to 3 inches outside of that for much of the remainder of the northern United States, seeing some lighter snowfall. So that is the snowfall totals. On the warm side, we're looking at potentially more flooding rain, and you've guessed it, yeah, in East Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, that's where we could see another 1 to 3 inches of rain straight through Monday morning. This takes you through the 1st of December. And then as we go into the first week of December itself, the tropospheric polar vortex is going to be setting up shop and remaining in place across the Hudson Bay there in Canada. That's going to send shots of Arctic air here into the northern and northeastern portion of the United States, sending our storm track a little bit further south. Notice the southeast ridge is not as prominent as it is this week. So yes, as we go into the first 7-8 days of December, Arctic air will be filling in, and our fresh snowpack will have some feedback on the colder air as well. Think of it as like a freezer, right? You have the snowpack on the ground, the air surrounding it is much colder. So if you don't have a snowpack on the ground, like the Ohio Valley here further south toward Kentucky, well, we're not as cold. So we're going to see more moderating cold further east away from the snowpack, but that is going to push our storm track a little bit further south. So areas along the Gulf Coast up through the Carolinas and Georgia, northern Florida will likely see above average precipitation going through the first 7-8 days of December. And not all of it is going to be in the form of rainfall. A lot of it to the south will be, but I think the northern stretches here, the Ohio Valley, northeast, mid-Atlantic, more in line for some snow. Here's the European model, and the GFS model here showing a lot more widespread accumulating snow through that region, and including the Appalachian Smoky Mountains. So be keeping an eye on that going through the first 7-8 days of December. Beyond that, just the week before Christmas, which would be the 3rd week in December, the 15th through the 23rd or so, I do feel a large chunk of the lower 48 here in the United States will be below normal with our temperatures leading up to Christmas, giving us some hope for a white Christmas. If you live out west in the mountainous areas out here, southern, especially southeastern Canada, the Great Lakes region, which is feasting off the lake effect snow, or just really anywhere out north, you're going to love this Christmas because I think a white Christmas is in store. Further south, the chances dwindle. The further south you go, naturally, obviously, per climatology, but even some southern states could see some snowflakes. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility in Dallas, Little Rock, Memphis, Nashville, or Raleigh, but I think it's a little bit harder to get snowfall down there so far because the MJO, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, is in phase 7, slowly meandering into phase 8. I think phase 8 and then phase 1 will be the colder phases for the southern U.S., and I think that could get us some cold and snow just in time for Christmas and the new year. So thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy today's weather forecast, obviously subscribe to the weather channel here that I have for you on YouTube. We cover the United States, we cover Canada and the tropics. Like the video. The more likes we get, the more information this gets passed along to more and more people. Share it, hype it, and also go follow me on my Facebook page for rapid fire quick weather updates that are informative to you and your area. We're going to be providing those with our graphics, our weather maps, our snowfall maps over the next few days, updating you on that. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving out there, and I'll see you all tomorrow.